But was it also the period you wrote your first songs?
Yeah, yeah. So then I started writing it out, and then I also got very angry at stuff. Like I started getting very angry at the whole like the like divided place between being cool or being like nerdy or being that and that and that. And that's how the whole Coolest X song came out, and that's kind of and then it started, and then that kind of blew it out of proportion. But before that, I was writing very angry music for very long, like almost like I don't know if you know like Necro and those kind of like dark like really dark like rap from when I was maybe like 20 till I was about 24, 5. And I was writing very much like the stuff I was writing now, but much too dirty and too fucking violent and shit. It was like super heavy. So then I kind of like took it away from that and like it was very like that trailer park kind of stuff. And then I took it a little bit away from that and made it just more like light in a way.
But why?
I just think because it started for me, it became like a thing, like in South Africa we are so bombarded with like what is wrong and what is like bad and in the news and everywhere it's like the whole time this is what's wrong, this is what's happening, this is that. So when I go out at night, I don't want to like have some guy telling me like how shit things are or what's wrong with the country or what's wrong with this. I want to be like entertained and I want to laugh and I want to forget about all that crap. So that's why I like kind of made it more lighthearted. I changed my music to being much more like chilled and lighthearted and having like more about having a good time. Even though I have like deeper songs and like heavier songs, it's more like an introspective look into myself. Sorry, than it is into a look at like current state of our nation or whatever. It's like or looking at other people really in a negative way. It's always like more about how I feel. Yeah.
Okay. In 2010, you released your first album.
Mm-hmm.
The year after that, your second album. Why so fast?
No, my first album 2009 came out 2009
Yes.
actually, yeah. And then I toured it, yeah. Then 2010. So it was a 2-year space pretty much. I think like from December till December 2010. So it was about 2 years. I think. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah. It's also like I think. Oh, it was maybe a year and a half or so, but it was. I think it's also to do with the state of music these days. You have to almost release constantly to actually make a living out of making music, because you have to use as many channels as you can with to make a bit of extra like cash to kind of fund your project, and that's the whole thing. And especially with me, I fund everything myself because I don't want to. It's difficult for me to be on labels and stuff because I don't like when people tell me what to do, so I want to be like in charge of my thing. So I do everything myself. I fund everything myself. I do everything like on my own label, and so that's kind of I have to work extra hard, obviously, where like much harder than a lot of people have to work because I have to run everything. Yeah.
And do you still listen to that music?
What music?
You first released.
I mean, I've listened to it like too much, way too much, but I'm very proud of it. I mean,
Yes.
it's part of me. It's part of my body and stuff and my mind. But it is actually cool. I actually listened the other day. For some reason, someone was playing it. It was playing my old album when I got somewhere, and it was actually cool listening to the stuff that some of the songs. Because I mean, the hits like Coolest X and stuff, I'm completely desensitized to it. It's like I've done it so many times. But like the songs, they're like more. Underground songs that didn't like I didn't really do them at too many shows and stuff, and I haven't performed them live that much. It's cool to hear that stuff again because you kind of forget about them and you're like, oh yeah, fuck, I remember that shit. It's like yeah.
That's fun. Well, now you release a double album, if
Yeah.
I'm correctly, but also an acoustic album. Why acoustic?
I got into quite heavily into blues music and into like acoustic music over the past while, and then I don't have a voice to sing. That's obviously why I rap as well, but I wanted to. I feel that music so much that I wanted to do something in that vein. So that's like a reason why I started like experimenting with it, like to kind of bring something out in that vein where it's like it's more like yeah, just in that like bluesy, like acoustic-y kind of vibe, and like a mixture of the two. So that's why I did it. So just to see if I could, and then we kind of did it for a experiment. And then it came out so fucking nice that we were like, we don't want to just put it out there because people will think like acoustic, that's so weird. Like, what is this? And they might not like listen to it or buy it and stuff. So I thought, let's rather like keep it and put it part of my next album, so it will be like a nice package as well. And with CD sales being what it is and stuff, it's quite cool to give people something like extra and special. Like so you're paying the same price, you're getting 2 albums, you're getting 30 tracks. And I mean every single track we worked on it for about 6 months. So it was a really long process, and I'm very proud about the way it came out, and I think it's really worth something, worth to spend your money on, where people, yeah, I think people put out music so easily these days, with it being what it is. You can record in your garage and put out an album, and it's kind of sad because it makes music that people work really hard on kind of lose its strength in a way, because people are like listening to this music that this guy did in like 10 days and listening to this that people have been working on it for years on, and it's like kind of that between space where it's like people start also pirating stuff a lot because they feel that the quality of the music isn't worth spending the money on and stuff. So it's just a sad thing, because obviously us as musicians, it is a job, and we have to make money to keep working. Especially like, I mean, I'm not Jay-Z or anything. If I was Jay-Z, I would be throwing my CDs out the windows, because like I'd be making so much money from shows and shit. So yeah, so that's pretty much it, yeah.
And can you remember the first song you wrote for the acoustic part of your album?
We actually did what happened was Sony, South Africa, approached me because I'm signed on them with publishing, and they were like, yeah, they have to do the showcase show. They really want me to play, but it's only acoustic. So I was like, fuck it, okay, cool. We haven't really ever done anything like that. So they like, but I was like, yeah, but I've been like kind of thinking about it, and I would actually like it. So it's actually came at a good time. And then I went to Laukie, my guitarist, and I said, listen, let's just sit and try some stuff out and see if we can do it. And we kind of played a bit, and it just came like naturally. So I think, pretty much the first acoustic stuff we did were all versions of other songs. We did Dance, 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 and Cooler as Ecke, and like Horstokke Los, and all this stuff on acoustic. So then when that was done, we were like, fuck, we have to record this stuff. And then I wrote this song. So I left there, and then I wrote a song for my daughter called Befok, which is just about like how cool she is and stuff, and how much I love her, and all of that stuff, and that was like pretty much the first acoustic track I wrote. So that one kind of set off like the chain of events to lead to the end, because that song also I was like, it would just not work if we did it electrically. It's not. So even if I didn't put out an acoustic album, I would have done that song acoustically. And then it was like, fuck, that's cool. Okay, and then I started working on stuff, and then kind of built up the album like that. Yeah.